everybody, how you doing? This is your boy DJ Chasemode. Yes sir. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the mixer right behind of me here, the Health GL2400. For you who do not like to make the move to digital mixers, this is a perfect solution for you. It is pricey. Cost about $2,400, I believe, maybe $2,300. They give you a $100 off, but you can buy it from Sweetwater. I know for sure right now you can get it from Sweetwater for $2,400. It's an excellent mixing board, very compact. 32 channels. You get the whole, the whole thing. 32 channels, 6 auxiliary outputs, 4 bus outputs, 4 matrix, 4x7 matrix outputs. You have talkback, you have a pink noise on it. It's an excellent board for maybe houses of worship, or if you have a live band and you're looking for an analog mixer. If you're one of those guys who don't want to make the shift to digital, this is a very good analog mixer for the price point and what you get and the compactness. If you're in a mobile situation where you need to put this mixer in a rack mount, this is an excellent size mixer. You can be able to have a rack mount or make rack mounts or buy them online that are not very expensive. Some of the 32 channel mixers are very huge, and so even finding a rack mount that can fit the big mixers is a problem, but this is a small footprint. I believe the length of it is 40 inches, so it's not that big, and it's compact, and it's all 32 channels. Very good preamps, better than their predecessor, the GL2200 and 3300. Better preamps, very warm, and sounds good. So I'm gonna give you a closer look of the Health GL2400. If you are a house of worship and you're looking for a good mixer, this is a very good solution for you. Alright. So now we're taking a closer look at the Health GL2400 mixer, and this is channel number 1 right here. This is channel number 1, and this is what you get per channel. Again, this is an analog mixer, so everything is repeated all through the mixer. And so channel 1 right here, this is what you get on channel 1. You have group selector. You can select what group the the channel goes to between group 1, 2, and group 3, 4. If you wanted to go to group 1, you would have to use the pan and pan it hard left, and that goes to group 1. If you want another one to go to group 2, you got a hard pan right to go to group 2. Anyway, I don't use mixers that way anyway, but if you are that kind of an engineer, you can do that. So you can select your groups. If you want your channel to go to your output, to your left and right, you have to have that selected. As you can see here, you have excellent LED indicators for your signal, and your clip light right there. You have your PFL if you want to listen in to your headphones, and it has an LED here to indicate what channels are on PFL mode. You have a good mute button right there, and it has a lights up red to show you that it's on mute. Here we have your pan, left and right, or leave it in the center. Here, this mixer has 6 auxiliary outputs, and they're indicated here. Four of them here, and this is your selector for pre-fader or post-fader. What that is, pre-fader is before the fader. which is what you want to set your mixer if you're using your auxiliary for monitors. You want to set this on pre-fader, which shows that it's depressed down. So if you're running this for monitors, which is what pretty much everybody does, that is pre-fader. Also here it shows your channel 5, auxiliary 5 and 6, and right here is your indicator for pre-fader or post-fader. Also up here it has a EQ in and EQ in and EQ out. This mixer has a full sweepable 4-band EQ, 4-band EQ. The low frequency is not sweepable, but the low mids and the high mids and the highs are all sweepable, I believe. Let me see here. The low mids are sweepable and the high mids are sweepable. What sweepable means is you set your frequency and you sweep your frequency to eliminate maybe a bad sound that you don't want out of the mixer, and that's what you do with that. So that's just a good, most of the analog mixers just have low mids, high mids and highs, and that's it. This one has sweepable mids, sweepable low mids and sweepable high mids, which really helps tone your sound. If you're a sound engineer, that's a really good thing right there, because you can choose a frequency that you don't want and you sweep it and you eliminate it. So it's a very good EQ system right here. You have a high pass filter of 100 Hertz right there. You can see there 100 Hertz high pass filter, and here you have your head gain, which kind of starts from -14 to +60 decibels, and your line or pad in there, it indicates if you want to use the 1/4 inch or the XLRs, and the polarity change. That's good when you have your speakers out of phase or your signal sounding like you're out of phase. And of course you have your phantom power for every single channel. So that's really good, because some of the mixers have a phantom power for, you know, like for 6 channels, or you know, and that doesn't look good on the mixer. So now I'm going to show you the output section of the mixer. So I noticed in the previous video from my camera screen that my hands were very ashy. So I just put some lotion on. I don't want to, yeah, anyway, you know how it is when you're working, when you're engineers, you just be doing all kinds of stuff, and yeah. Anyway, so this mixer has a matrix output. My camera is giving me an issue here. And here is your matrix, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your matrix, let's concentrate on matrix 1. You can see there you have an AFL to listen in to your, where am I? Your AFL to listen in to your headphone. There we go, there's the matrix 1. So you have your AFL, which is for your headphones or for your monitor to be able to listen in. You have a mute, and you have a level for your matrix, for channel matrix 1 here. So what a matrix is an output, but you get to choose. It's like a small mixer within a mixer. You get to choose what goes to this matrix here. So this is what they have provided for you. You can either choose the left and right to go to your matrix, left and right, or you can choose group 1 through 4. And I don't know what that is. Exit in. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your groups. So what you can do here is, if you have a keyboard player, and let's say the keyboard player is on channel 1, you can come here and select channel 1 to go to group group 1 right there, channel 2 to go to group 1 right there, and let's say this is a drum mix, and channel 3 to go to group 1 right there. So these three are going to group 1. Then, so this is group 1 right here. So that's all that coming to group 1. So what you can do here is now have your drummer in-ear monitors come out of group 1, and you can turn up that right there. And pretty much they're going to be able to hear that. That's just another way that you can use it. You can have your in-ear monitors send out to that. If you have the GL2300 mixer, I believe you can also choose auxiliary 1 through 4 to go to your matrix. I wish they did that, but they didn't. Mostly the best use of this matrix sends if you are in a church or a house of worship and or a venue, and you need sound in different rooms. You know, maybe you have an overflow room and stuff. I would use the matrix 1 through 4 for that purpose. If you have different rooms that you need your your sound to go to, I would use the matrix for that. If you have a camera guy, I would use the matrix sends for that. In essence, you always want to have control, and with this you have control. If all of a sudden the people from the overflow room tell you the volume is too low, you can always come here and turn up that volume or turn it down. You can always come here and turn up the volume or turn it down. So you have control over that mix without affecting your overall mix. Now you do have 4 group outputs, which is 1 through 4, left, right, and your mono output for maybe your subwoofers or whatever you want to use it for. This mixer also is a full, can become a full monitor console. So if you have a big sound company and you want to utilize a monitor console, this board is a fully equipped. It's fully equipped for monitor, you know, front of the house or monitor, and you do that by selecting this little buttons that you see here, which are this they are reverse. You get to reverse your auxiliary 1 all the way through 6. If you hit that reverse button, the fader for your group here becomes your auxiliary outputs. So now you get to utilize the group outs as XLR outs in the back of your mixer, because your group outs, like I'm gonna show you, these 4 right here are XLR on this board. A difference on the GL2300 is that it has, I believe, 8 group outs. This one only has 4, and so you get to utilize, and they are XLR outputs in the back. So you can press this right here. If you do not use a lot of groups, if you don't group your mixes, then you can just press that, and the 4th, and you can be able to utilize this as volume levels for your monitors. If you chose to do that, you can utilize this as volume levels for your auxiliary 1 through 4 instead of bass. Now then you would be able to use the auxiliary output knobs as group outputs. So now this, once you press this, this will become your group volume levels, and this will become your auxiliary volume levels. And that's a really good thing. I like, when I had a GL2300 for many years, I used to use the 8 group outputs. I don't group my mixes, so I just used to do that. I only group a few of them, and if I did, I do have the knobs here to do that job. But monitor mixes, however, in my opinion, are better here, because I'm constantly, if I'm running sound as a front of the house engineer and running sound for monitors, then I would rather have the volume levels here. I can monitor that easier when it's on here. So that's a very good function that you don't find in a lot of mixers. And at this price point, this is a really awesome function right there. You do have a talkback here, and you can choose where that talkback goes to. If you want to, if all your band is on in-ears, so you can select aux 5, 6, aux 3, 4, aux 1, 2, and when you press that and your talkback microphone goes in here, when you press talk, you can pretty much talk to your band that way. You can just tell them what you want to tell them, and nobody else is gonna hear that other than just the selected channels here. Also, these selected outputs here also work with this. It has a pink noise, 1 kilohertz pink noise generator, or quiet noise here, and so you can be able to do your equalizations using the pink noise right there, which is a lot of mixers don't have that function also. And right here is your true track, and you can send a true track to your left and right by depressing that. You can just make your music to go to the once it's plugged in the back, you can make your music to go to the left and right by pressing that button, and this is your volume level. I am now going to show you the back of the mixer. This is a very beautiful mixer, and again, like I said, it's a very compact mixer. It does come with dual lights here for you to see at night in dark rooms, and I like it. GL2400. I'm gonna show you the back of the mixer, and this is gonna be the end of that video. Alright, so this would be your output section. As you can see, as I told you, group 1 through 4 is XLR outs. The left and right is XLR outs. The monitor out is XLR. So if you depress those buttons, your group 1 through 4, I believe, becomes your monitor outputs, auxiliary 1 through 4, and you can use all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to become your stage monitor. So that's the group out section, and it's all XLR outs. Now here's another thing here. We have auxiliary 1, the regular as a front of the house port. Auxiliary 1 through 6 is right there as 1/4 inch output. Now as you can see here, they have the diagram showing you that auxiliary, the flip-flop of the mixer as a front of the house or as a monitor board. You can see they're telling you that this can also in reverse become group 1, 2, 3, 4, and the left and the right. And also this here, if you flip all the reverse buttons, the group 1 becomes auxiliary 1, group 2 becomes aux 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and your left becomes auxiliary 5, your right becomes auxiliary 6, and that's it. So all your monitors would be left and right. However, if you just want to be able to utilize to have the capability of having auxiliary outputs as XLRs, I would just reverse group 1 through 4 and leave the left and right alone as pretty much what it is, left right, because I don't want to wire my left right with a 1/4 inch output here. Is just annoying. So you can reverse group 1 through 4 to become monitor 1 through 4, and you can have XLR outs from 4 monitor groups. It just helps out with cabling, because you gotta find some funny cables, some XLR male to 1/4 XLR cables to be able to utilize your outputs as 1/4 inch I remember when I used to do that. It's just so annoying, so many cables you gotta get. Anyway, you also have inserts for every one of these auxiliary outputs. So this is where you would put your compressors, your equalizers, especially your equalizers. You only have one for each channel, so you could come out of your compressor and maybe daisy chain that together with your equalizer and then get into channel 1 or auxiliary 1 insert, which would in essence give you the equalization and compression capability on your mixer. So you can do that. It has inserts even for left and right. Let me see. 2-track out, 2-track in. Yes, you have an insert for your left and right there. Matrix 1, 2, 3, 4 outputs. Effects in or extension in. I don't know what exactly that means, but it's an input for your matrix. I guess you can, if I think is what it is you could bring a signal from some other source and plug it in there and have the capability of adjusting it in your matrix in. Weird. I don't know what I would use that for. I'm not thinking of it, but it's an input. So if it's an input and I can access it in my matrix output, then I can, whatever you bring into this channel, I can operate it on the matrix output section. You also have your monitor left and right. This is for maybe you're using this in the studio. You can come out of there and to go to the studio monitors, and there are your things for your lights right there. That's a connector right there. It has 2 of them, which is really cool. They look really good. Here's a view of your channel right there. This mixer has direct outs for every channel. Direct out for every channel. You have an insert for every channel, and there's the line in for input and the XLR in. Again, we're talking about the GL2300. You have an extension socket there to expand this to an external power supply. You have your power button there, your regular power cable right there. I mean your regular power input. It does make a little, wait, it's made in China. It says everything is made in China. That's amazing. See that? Made in China. Anyway, I didn't know that. You have an extension port right there. It's a console expander. You can use that to make this mixer go beyond 32 channels. You have a fuse right there. And yes, that's the Allen Heath GL2400. Beautiful mixer here. Very compact. Price point at Sweetwater is $2,400. Very good, very worth the money. The circuit board has been made in a way that it's very easy to repair. Internal power supply and the availability of being able, if your power supply goes bad, you can buy an external power supply just in case there's a backup plan. It's built to last. It's a very good mixer here. Allen Heath GL2400. If you're looking for a mixer for your church and you do not like digital mixers, this is a very good solution. Alright, this is your boy DJ Chasemode. I will get back to you with another video review of another product. Until then, have a blessed time, guys. Bye bye.